There's 4 things that we're gonna do that we have to agree to, because without them I'm unable to go forward. The first thing we must agree upon is that there is no such thing as hashtag never again, and that no single or multiple layer stops the bad guy once he decides that he's going to commit murder. The third thing is that there is just a myth called run, hide, fight. You will not hear me talk about run, hide, fight. I don't believe in run, hide, fight. I believe it sends a really bad message. The other thing we have to agree upon is that, like I said earlier, we can't say that there's a dollar sign that we can't attach to this that will stop us from doing what we need to do. And the last thing is the police must enforce the laws on campus. That all has to be agreed upon. Number 1, we must identify children that we think are at risk. We must identify the kids that the other kids know are having issues socially. We must identify these kids in 3rd to 5th grade and get them in some sort of plan that helps them. We have to help these children before they get to middle school, before this festers to a point where kids are getting even meaner. We know what happens in 6th through 8th grade. Kids are ruthless. Let's identify these kids when we know that they're having issues, and let's help them way before this becomes an issue in high school. That's the first thing I think we can do. Number 2, we're going to have a revamp of our campuses in America. What that means is we're going to have a single point of entry to get into the campus, to get to where you park in your car. That's got a guard there. That's got someone to identify and say, yes, this person has a meaningful purpose to be here. This can just be a regular person that's checking in. They have a list of the students. They get an ID check real quick, make sure that it's a parent of a student, names match up, etc. Single point of entry, but also we have to make sure that this whole area, 360 degrees around the campus, some sort of video camera surveillance that's watching the entire place. It's watching all the way around the campus. They're watching these people come into the single point of entry. All right, the building itself, once they get in here and park, they're going to come to a front door of the building. That front door needs to have some sort of video conference system where they're able to see the person and have them provide an ID and show it to the person inside the building that's going to then buzz them in. They've shown an ID at the single point entrance. They parked their car. They're now showing to the one building that they're going to be allowed into. And this, again, is single point access as well. So now they've gained access to the building. They've shown their intentions. They've proven. They're going to then go inside and sign in an office where there's an armed guard. So there's an armed guard in all the schools somewhere. Let's have them inside that area right there. Number 4 is we need to improve the classrooms themselves. Each and every classroom can be easily upgraded. We're going to improve the door itself. We're going to put one of these devices that stops the key point. We're going to improve the door beyond just the lock. We're going to mirror the window so that the teacher can see out, but no one out in the hall can see in. We've made it tougher to see in, to see what the target may be. We've improved the actual door itself. We make sure that these doors are openable from inside if someone needs to get out. And then also there's some sort of system, two-way, between the office, the main office, and each classroom, so that at all times, and I think this is pretty standard in most schools now, but at all times every teacher has the ability to lock down the door and then communicate with the main office directly. All right, now let's talk about the kids themselves. Number 5. Let's help the kids protect themselves better by having some things in here. Yes, let's provide our kids with some sort of backpack insert or a backpack solutions. Forget a clear backpack. How about a backpack that can actually be used to help protect them? Have medical kits in the schools. in each classroom. Have the kids trained, we'll talk about that in a minute, but have a real medical kit so that if something happens in the classroom, if there is an accident, it might not even be shooting related. They have the wherewithal other than just, oh, where's the nurse? Where's the school nurse? If they do gain access, if they do somehow get through the ID check and pass the security guard in the office, if they do somehow get through the door that you've then reinforced and alerted authorities immediately, the kids have some protection, but the bottom line is, once again, it's not 100% impenetrable. People could have different ways to access that. If they do, my plan would include giving all teachers the access to and ability to learn and train about having a shield and a taser. Here's why. If here are the kids in the classroom, and here's Johnny Bad Guy, he's angry, he's yelling, he's gonna be there. I'd like to give the teacher the ability to have some sort of shield that's bulletproof, her own access to something like a taser or a taser pulse that she can then shield him as he gets into the classroom, and let's put him down. At least now he's immobilized to the point that she can push the shield onto him, be trained, she, I keep saying she, push the shield onto him after he's been immobilized temporarily, kick the gun away, have some training, the kids can then, versus the alternative. Let's remember what we're talking about here. It's not a perfect plan by any means. However, number 6 is important. All right, number 7. Controversial, yes, with the caveats that I cover a lot of this and I go into detail on different aspects of this whole thing. But after watching everything, after learning everything I have, watching these situations and living it here, I do believe that we should be able to arm the teachers and the staff of the school if they want to. Yeah, I think we should be able to not only arm the staff, but have someone like myself who wants to go onto campus and pick up my kid, I should be able to be armed there as well. Right now, that's a state law. You can't do that here in Florida. It's a regional thing. There are parts of the country where it's completely acceptable. There are places in the country where it's 25 minutes to an hour before police could possibly get to a school to help. And in here, I guess I'll include this part. I think that we should encourage every, again, municipality, city, small town, America, whatever it may be, to help better foster police relations with the community. What better way than to have the police be a part of the kids' lives on a better than average everyday type experience? Meaning, we put some sort of police substation in schools that would allow it. And we encourage the police officers to not just go there, drive up, which again is great, there's a presence there. We're also encouraging the police to interact with the kids. Go sit down and have lunch. Go hang out with them during a recess. Shoot some hoops. Have some fun. Encourage that whole thing. I think it all kind of makes sense together. And oh, by the way, they'd be armed police officers on campus in addition to whatever security measures go into place. Number 8 is the training. Collective community training. All of the elements, all of the kids, all of the teachers. We can't do all this and not have training involved. It's not just the teachers and the kids, it's the admin, and then it's the further reach out. I'll put first responders, community leaders, communications. All of this, collectively, everyone that could possibly be involved, responding or being a part of a situation like this, everyone needs to be on the same page, and that involves training. And I go back to a story that most people don't know. There was one teacher in the building that was shot up that had some training. She sought it on her own. She had imparted some of that wisdom to the kids, and when this happened, that classroom acted differently than the rest of the classrooms. That's a fact. Huge believer in the training piece here. Not just, again, with, hey kids, what are we gonna do if all of a sudden we get a bang on our door and we know something's going on? Who's gonna call the office? Who's gonna make sure everyone's grabbing their equipment? Where are the kids gonna go in the classroom? What's the escape plan? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Huge. Within number 8, I need to also add this one. Eliminate stand-downs. if collectively as parents, teachers, educators, community leaders, first responders, everyone's agreeing that we're going to be prepared for a situation and get ready for this and be ready, the notion that anyone would show up and have the ability to stop the threat, not stop the threat, needs to be eliminated, in my opinion. Period. End of story. If you show up and you're armed and someone that's armed is killing kids, you stop that threat. Period. End of story. There was a command from the officer, there's a command from, no. Number 9, social media monitoring. The warning signs are put out there on social media. The software is available, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, doesn't matter. They can be monitored, words can be seen. If kids are putting out active threats, if they're posting material that indicates that they are a threat, that they've slipped through the crack, or if they're making a direct threat, a lot of them are using social media to put that message out there. We need to have the software in place nationwide to be able to monitor it and stop it when we can. Not Big Brother, not intrusive, not infringing on rights, but when people are willing to put messages out there, again, we're trying to stop bad people, evil people, people who need help. We're trying to stop evil people from making the decision to go forward with something like this. If we have all the data, if you know that a kid is a risky kid, why wouldn't we want to profile, stop them? Again, there is so much evidence out there in our situation here in Parkland that I knew it would be this kid. We always joked that it would be this kid, etc., etc., etc. That kid should have been helped. The only way to do that is to start here and circle back to here. And when I mean profile, I mean similar to how the Israelis profile for Israeli airlines. Do you ever hear about hijackings happening in Israel? It doesn't happen. Why? One of the reasons is they profile. They know who's coming on the planes. Controversial, something to talk about later for sure. But there it is. So when you go back, my goal was stop it before it happens, make the school stronger, make the interior of the school stronger, give the teachers the options to become even stronger, help your kids protect themselves and have knowledge, make sure that people that want to be armed and the people that should be armed are at hand, make sure that everybody has training, everybody. Lead control training, coordination of effort training, social media monitoring, wherein, once again, if someone's putting out direct threats, rather than them just mumbling it to their friend as they're walking down the school, they might put that out to the world. That should be monitored somehow. There is software available. And there you have it. And God forbid the guy gets through the door. I feel like the teacher at a minimum should have a taser, at a maximum should be able to meet that person with equal force. With the proper training, biometric safes in the classrooms, all that stuff. We're not talking about the wild west because, once again, there's millions of people in Florida that have concealed carry permits. Most of the stuff you hear about is guys that got that gun somehow illegally, they're doing the bad stuff. So there you go. I think we covered it all. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Be safe out there. Those threats, because we know that ultimately these are public suicides where someone knows that the only way that they're going to stop is if they decide to stop or if someone stops them.